Hello everybody, welcome back to Outside My Workshop. I'm sitting here in my Jeep trying to wait for it to warm up. I gotta go grab some quick supplies from the grocery store. And I just wanted to take and give a few quick tips on pricing. And this is, how to price your work, how to price your ironwork, things of that nature. There was a current comment that had came up just recently, and it was commenting on the fact that the guy had thought my prices are overpriced for what I sell stuff, or that I'm price gouging people with my ironwork on the pricing that I sell my artwork for. And so I kind of want to speak to that very specifically, because it is a common thing to think about when you're blacksmithing. It's very hard to know how much you can charge reasonably so, and just not be a dirty salesman to your customer, and you're giving them a fair price for your time, okay? And so one of the things I'd point out is whenever you go into someone's comment section and you tell somebody that they're overpriced for their work, you are telling them that they're not worth what they're asking. And I ask you to kind of put some thoughts in here before you tell somebody that. It used to be an old saying, it's not so much anymore, but if you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. There's kind of the thing, you kind of keep your mouth shut of what you think about other people. Well, online, that kind of gets a little bit skewed, by the screen from keyboard warriors and things of that nature. So basically, something to think about there is when you tell somebody this, you have no clue about their financial situation, where they're at. You don't know if they have a wife, they have kids. Those kids like to eat. Those kids like to have shoes. The kids like to have clothing to wear. And all those things that you go to a company that supposedly price gouges their customers in order for you to have a job. So this is turning into a little bit of rant, and I'm sorry for that, okay? Because it just really struck me, because I'm a hard-working dad. I'm a hard-working dad. I'm a hard-working man. I do my best to be as fair and honest with anybody as I can. If you don't like my prices, move on. Move on. There's 1,000 other guys that'll probably do the same work for cheaper. They value themselves less. But I value my wife and kids so much that I want to provide them a life worth living. I want to provide them a life like anybody would. So when you're a blacksmith, okay, how does this change? When you're an artist, how does this change? Why are we as artists, or self-employed people, or self-made businessmen, why are we treated any differently than a company that has 50 employees and they have to charge thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars for work to get done because they have to feed those 50 employees' families? Now, if the employee doesn't show up or gets fired, obviously that connection's lost. But at the same point, that boss has to take care of things like your Medicare, and they have to take care of all this other stuff, that comes out of here. There's a self-employment tax. You get taxed for being self-employed. That just doesn't make sense. Like, you're trying to make an industry, and you get taxed for it. So, once again, this is what I'm going to try to make this not too much of a rant here, okay? But you have got to get it out of your mindset that because you're an artist, or because you're a blacksmith and you're not working a real job where you go to a place you hate the boss, you hate the coworker, you hate the work, and just because you like what you do, you need to be a good Samaritan and do it all for free. Everything's for free. Everything's for free, and if you charge an ounce or a dime, you're a charlatan, you're a crook, and you're price gouging people. Now, none of my work, this is the funny thing. None of my work's cheap. I'm going to level with you. A 6-inch copper bowl, forged by me, polished, patinaed, shipped in a crate with my logo, with all the wood Excelsior put in it, with a handmade card, with my business card, into it, and custom stamping is worth $100 of my time, which if you go back to my Rule of 33 video, it's actually 33 bucks that I make on that. For all that, I make $33, and I spend a total of an hour and a half of work. Now, you tell me that's too expensive. Tell me that's too expensive. Would you work for an hour and a half for only $33? And have the headache of a customer complaining maybe, or maybe they didn't quite get it on time and now they reject the order, but you still have time in it, and then you have to give them money back, and so now you actually got paid nothing for your $33. You actually didn't even get the $33 out the door. So yeah, when you look at a bowl, or when you look at something, the other thing was mentioned was a banana hanger there, and I'm probably ticking this guy off, and you can certainly comment in the comment section again if you'd like. But my banana hanger that I had forged, I have a price of $400 on that banana hanger. People say, well, that's just a ripoff. For you, it may be a ripoff. If you cannot afford it, it sounds like a ripoff. It's not. The customers and the clients that I cater to, it's not a ripoff. My prices are clearly marked. They get plenty of foot traffic. They have plenty of interested parties, and they sell. And they sell. Somebody did not see that as a ripoff. They saw it as a piece of art that was made by a hardworking man and a craftsman. And they got to know me as a business person through my message and through what I teach and through what I teach all these other smiths out there to do. You guys have got to get on that type of connection basis with your clients. Get on that type of connection basis with your clients. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. I get problem clients from time to time, here and there, and we have our tussles and our scuffles. I try my best to deal as fairly as I have to with them. And you know what? I've went as far as just giving them their money back because it was easier. It was just easier and less headache on my mind. But once again, that's taking food out of my kids' mouths. That's telling my daughter, no, you can't have ballet practice. That's telling my wife that, no, we're going to wait a little further on our dream eventually of maybe owning a home someday. So you guys have got to get this in your mind and get this through your head that you are worth money. You're worth money. Your time is worth something to you. You don't get any more time back. We're given maybe 100 years if we're lucky here on the face of this earth, and of that years there's maybe 50 productive years, I would say, maybe, right? That you can actually produce something for your family and maybe change your family tree and your structure and your life. And with that 50 years, that time that you're giving to a company, giving as an employee, giving as an entrepreneur, or giving as a self-business person, or whatever you want to call yourself, or an artist, it's worth something. It's worth something. And that will be valued by people differently. You will always have people tell you that you're overpriced. I had people telling me I was overpriced when I used to sell roses for 25 bucks. They take me 6 hours. None of that mattered. It was just $25. They couldn't afford it, so I was overpriced and raking people over the coals. So don't listen to any of that malarkey or that jargon or any of that mess when people give you that, because you are worth it. You're worth it. Your kids are worth it. Your wife is worth it. Keeping a rent and, house over your head and that type of stuff, it's worth it. So do not take less if they won't take less. Will they take less if they go to their boss and say, hey, boss, you know what? I think you're overpaying me by a whole bit because I kind of just sit at a desk all day long and I kind of tap around on keys. Occasionally I have a lot of free time and I play, I play solitaire right there at my desk, and you pay me $45 an hour to do that. I think I only need $8.75 an hour. Yeah, I can do that. I know I'll be suffering, but I'll do that. They won't do that. You as an artist shouldn't. Don't ever accept that as so. And that'll conclude my rant. Anyways, it was on my mind. People rile me from time to time. It's just part of my personality. I greatly appreciate everybody who subscribes to this channel and watches this channel. If this is your first video of mine, I apologize for the rant. They do happen from time to time. It's just something that I do occasionally to just vent. And then to encourage other smiths out there that they don't have to put up with that kind of malarkey. You're worth it. You're worth it. Your ironwork's worth it. Charge what you need to charge, and there's somebody who will find value in it, and there's plenty of people who won't. So with that, hopefully that inspired somebody out there. Hopefully somebody needed to hear it. Thank you all for watching this video. Stick around, look at the rest of the channel. We got over 450 videos as this is being posted. Well over 450 videos out there on the subject of blacksmithing. Make sure to check them out. And yeah, we'll catch you all on the next one. Thank you all for watching. God bless you, and you have a great day.